My name is Bill Jefferson, and I've been at Metro full-time as an accounting instructor since 2006. I am the department representative for accounting, and also I am the assessment coordinator. It's 10 years now. Yes, full-time. I did adjunct part-time for about 10 years prior to starting full-time. I worked in corporate America as a corporate accountant and corporate finance person, a controller. I worked in a number of positions, from international finance to public auditor to finance and planning in corporations. I did a lot of budgeting in a lot of manufacturing corporations. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, the Rust Belt, and actually I went to John F. Kennedy High School. That's actually where I got my interest in accounting, from my bookkeeping teacher in high school. And ultimately I went to Ohio University to take accounting. Mr. Walker, and that's the one who inspired me in accounting. He was my bookkeeping teacher. He had a great sense of humor. He loved accounting. He also loved teaching, and he was fun. So with that, it kind of inspired me to get into the bookkeeping and to get into the business machines that we had in high school. And ultimately I went on to college, and I had one other favorite teacher in college as well, Dr. Voss. He was one who introduced me to a public accounting partner that brought me internships and ultimately a full-time job. I got my feet wet as an adjunct at UNO, and then I got a call from Daryl Hansen. Says, can you come over and sub? I need an emergency fill-in. And I told him, sure. And I've been at Metro ever since. I was adjuncting for about 10 years or more. And subsequently a position opened up full-time, and I took the full-time position. I enjoy teaching. Why I found Metro, I think having taught at UNO, I had something to compare to, and I just found that Metro was much more the place for me. I don't know that I had one mentor that stood out. I lost my parents early in life. My father when I was 11, and my mother when I was a junior in high school in the 11th grade. And I just took to kind of raising myself. My brother and I were orphaned before we graduated high school. So it was nothing for me to go out on my own and look at careers and what it took to establish a career and whatnot. That's how I looked at occupational guides, and I said accounting, and I went into accounting out of desperation. I graduated, I was an orphan. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? How am I going to substantiate myself? I read an occupational guide. It said there were opportunities in accounting. I said, oh, you know what? I took this bookkeeping. I think I like that. Let me see if I can go to college for that. So I went there and studied, and the rest is kind of history. It's fallen in line. My philosophy is to try to reach everyone in the class. And usually I might go more towards the lower end than trying to reach that higher end student. And when I say that higher end, the student who is catching everything. I try to exercise many different techniques to reach different people, because not everything, satisfies every student. Some are more visual, some are not visual, some like things on the board, some like things, straight out of the book. Some students love and deal very well with online, with no, or very little teacher impact. But I enjoy putting the structure. I enjoy giving the big picture, because in accounting, you go from such level detail of a debit, which isn't even a full transaction, up to a whole financial statement of a business. So it is very complicated, and I know it's not for everyone, but we try to reach everyone who signs up for our classes. Since I've started teaching full-time and having that focus, and as much as I enjoy teaching, and as comfortable as I am in teaching, I jump right up. I love coming into the office. I'm into the office most every day. I'm a learner at heart, and I decided to go out for a PhD. I actually should complete my PhD this year, so in advanced accounting. But, so knowing that I'm going to be here, knowing that I can share and make a difference in my field, well, they've taught me how to find them. And what I mean there is that students, when they get it or when they don't get it, I think we as teachers have a responsibility to understand that. To see when a student kind of looks up or looks curious, look like they don't get it, okay, let's try it a different way. Bob, I see that you might not get it. They may not want to say anything. They may not want to ask the question. And you don't want to put them on the spot. That's one of the things I've learned to do. And so the students have taught me how to teach in a lot of ways. I can remember in my early days, I used to say, well, this is easy. And a student would automatically say, well, it's easy for you. and I'm not going to say, and it's not that I don't say this is easy anymore, because I do. But I follow that up with, let me show you how it's easy. And I explain it, and I write it on the board, and I show them. And I say, now, wasn't that easy? And I don't let them leave with confusion. Well, technology has been a driving force in the world, and I have fortunately been one of those that has been on kind of the cutting edge. In corporate America, when I was working, I was one of the gurus that piloted different software programs and things like that. And here, we just got our technology room that I'm one of the instructors to use that new technology. So I think we have to grow with that, and we have to understand that. I think as instructors, we best know that because many of, say, the millennials, for example, and those people coming out of high schools today, they are tied and linked into the technology so strongly. And we have to know how to reach them. And we have to go there to reach them in many cases. So if we don't know that and we're not familiar with that, we kind of end up missing the boat for some students. So I try to be there as much as possible on that edge and to follow the new technology. And I'm glad that I have two sons who they are into new technology as well. As a single parent, that was quite a challenge. I got my kids when they were like 14 and 16, getting them through high school, getting them into college and so forth. That was a challenge. Working, and I don't know, I enjoy my job so much, teaching, that is it a challenge? Not so much. Maybe that's why I went back for a PhD. My PhD, is that a challenge? Yeah. It's one thing giving the students exam. It's another thing taking the exams. It's been a while since I've taken exams, but I've taken enough and I've written hundreds of papers now. So once I get through my PhD, that will satisfy one of my greatest challenges. Try to understand your gifts that you have, those things that you might be good at, and then figure out how that can help you going forward. Pursue it with persistence. That's one thing that is my secret. Persistence. Just don't give up. Between my PhD and my routine Toastmasters group that I enjoy, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to give a presentation to a national accounting faculty conference in Denver. Metro is sending me there, and I will be talking on the topic of my dissertation, which is benefit corporations. So once I get that out of the way, then it'll be on to complete some case study work related to my dissertation and continue working during the summer. I work most summers and teaching and also doing assessment work and curriculum work and vacation somewhere in there. I usually, when we have our breaks, I'm usually in some foreign country somewhere or hopefully on some beaches. My name is Bill Jefferson, and I'm an accounting instructor at Metropolitan Community College at the South Campus.